chime in the chat if you want to. Looks like she might be typing. Okay, so for summer reading, Shauna, did you get anything from the girls yesterday? Did they say anything like, like the basic gist of it? Have you looked at any of the documents or anything like that?
No, I just got here this morning.
Okay. So for summer reading, the main thing I wanted to let everyone know was that we've got the website, which is the programming website, and that's available if you go to these little squares in your Gmail, and go down to sites. You might have to go to this little thing that says browse sites when you get into sites, and then click all sites, and it should pop up with Trails programming. And it's also available on the Trails website in the staff side. If you can't get to it that way, have you been to this site before, Shauna?
No.
Okay. So if you want to go there, if you want to, I think someone at your branch should know how to grab it and put it in a bookmark for you, so that you don't have to go through that process again.
Sure.
But yeah.
Kendra's good.
Kendra got it? Is that what you said?
She's all techie.
She's all techie. Okay. So the programming website has this little tab at the top that says summer reading, and that's where it's kind of the landing page for everything. So it's got all of the information about. It doesn't have everything for the online system yet, because we're actually changing that this year, as of yesterday, to something that's a little more simplified than Read Squared. It'll be a lot easier for staff to get in and see patron information, do reports for, like, the branch managers can do reports. This is what it looks like. It's called Beanstack, and it's just a cleaner, a little more intuitive version of Read Squared. And this is basically the landing page for it. You would register here. You can register yourself or your child. They also have a function for doing like classes, which we're still working on, but the potential is there that like a teacher, a summer school teacher, could register a class and log reading for students that way. But that's something that we're going to do a separate training on. We're going to do a whole separate training on this whole online system, so that everyone knows how to get someone registered, how to check someone's status, how to make sure that they get their prizes, and what it will look like in comparison to the paper version. So that'll be a separate thing. So don't get scared about that at all. That will be out soon. But the other thing is that if they're doing the paper version, it's going to be the blueprints. And all of the blueprints are down here in these links. There's the pre-reader, a children's, a teen, and an adult's. And as of right now, the children's the only one that's mostly done. I'm still waiting for all branches to submit their program ideas for teens, adults, and then their story times for pre-readers. And so what I'm going to do is, like if we look at the pre-reader one, I'm just going to have it's going to be the same thing, just the log where they track whatever their activity is for this blueprint, which is their reading log. And then on the back of their log, what do we got? Did I get a little message? Am I in with you guys? Can you hear us? Hold on just a second. Looks like we're still streaming. Sorry, technical difficulties. Regina, things are sketchy and I'm probably behind you, but I can hear you. Yes, okay. That's good. And I'm streaming. Okay, that's good, Gina. And then please feel free to use the chat to ask questions. I'll just tell it to you since you can hear me eventually. If you have a question, I will hear that little ping. If you ask something, if you catch up and have a question, feel free to type it in. I will get to whatever ping I hear and answer it as fast as I can, so that you're not too far behind everyone. So please use that chat feature. So for going back to the blueprint, so each blueprint's basically going to look like this. They're all this little graph with the little activities on them. And the backs of them are really what's going to be mostly different. Some of the activities are going to make more sense. Like the pre-readers are going to be like read for 10 minutes, and like sing a song together or something like that. And the children's going to be like make something with Legos or build something on Scratch or like volunteer somewhere or something like that. And the activities are also up for debate. If you want to add something, if you think something makes sense to go with the theme, let me know, and I can just get in there and change all of that. But the back of those are going to be district-wide programs. So for pre-readers, it's just going to be, I'm planning to just do everyone's story time, and this is obviously not done. So I'm just going to put what kind of story times that each branch has, and then if you have something like a special story time, if you want to do like a family story time or an evening story time or something like that, I can feature it somewhere else on this page. And I know we're going to talk about prizes next, but for pre-readers, if we have more programs, or if any group has more programs, we can take off this little grand prize listing if we want. It's a flexible thing, so I'm kind of hoping that you guys will give me input if you're like, I don't want that on there. I would rather feature my program. I think that's a better use of the space since these are going to everyone. Just let me know what you think. And the best way to do that is either email me or from that
Will
page.
they be branch specific, or will all of the branches programs show on each blueprint?
All of the branches programs will show.
Okay.
And it's not all of them. It's it's the basics. Like for this one, it's just the story times for each branch, and they'll have these little codes that will be at the bottom.
I see.
So like WB will correspond to Warrensburg. Yeah.
So we're going to be locked into this 10:30.
If that's your choice. April 15th is my hope that you can have that information to me. And if not, you have another way to let people know that you changed something.
Yes, lots of them.
So I'm just talking about the remind app.
Gotcha.
Okay. So anyway, Sean, are you still doing good?
You see my comment over there?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, Amy. Okay, or that's your Shauna, but your typing is Amy. That's gonna confuse me. Okay, so do you need storytime themes? No. Unless you have something specific, like you're doing like a special story time that's got a theme, you don't need to submit that to me. I just need to know the times and the dates.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have something you want featured, let me know and I can put it on there. Otherwise, it's just to let people know when you guys have story time. And the other thing is, if you do have something very like special that's even more than a one-time thing, you can tell me that and I will put it on the online system so that when people get into the online system, if you'll notice at the bottom, we've got events down here, and they'll see that when they're logging stuff, they can see like a specific branch event that corresponds to whatever age group. So, okay, Gina's still good. So what I wanted to reemphasize is that if you go to that Trails programming site and you go to the summer reading page, there's also a document at the bottom. It says see other branches program ideas here. And if you click on that, it's just a Google Doc that everyone has access to edit. And I've made it so that, like yesterday, we started having all these ideas like, oh, can we do this for a prize? Can you get gift certificates for this or passes to this? If you want to add in here your whatever branch designation you have, and then whatever your idea for a prize that you would like me to try to get is, and what age group you think it would be best for, I can have a better idea of what you guys want for prizes. And we talked yesterday about doing like a kind of a for the children. We're really thinking the Sphero and the Force Band, the BB-8 Star Wars thing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and that's kind of a pricier item. And we're kind of thinking that for the kids, but for and like for pre-readers, we're thinking like blocks or an activity table, something that's kind of aligned with the theme, but it's not going to be super pricey. But for the teens and adults, we're thinking like a package of prizes, like gift cards and iTunes stuff, and maybe like VR headsets or something like that. But if you have other ideas, just add them right here. You can just write whatever you want. This document's fluid. And the other thing that I wanted you guys to use this for was to add program ideas Gina, I know, had mentioned, like, I wish I knew what other branches were thinking of doing. Like, I just want to see what you guys are planning. So I thought this might be a good way for everyone to say, like, we're thinking of doing this. It doesn't have to be, it's not a submission. It's just like, I want to do baby yoga. I have no idea how to do that yet, but it's going to be in my thing. And then other people who might have done it before or know something or have someone that they don't want to do baby yoga, but they have someone that does baby yoga and they would go to Warrensburg for you. You could use that. So that's kind of what this is for, because we don't really have a way for everyone to know what everyone else is doing other than like our Facebook group. So if you want to use that, it's you can find it just by going to the programming site down to this little see other branches program ideas here. And then so yeah, what I'd like for you guys to do is just keep in mind pre-readers, teens, and adult programs. I'm really hoping for one from each branch to put on the back. Just something that you think would go with the theme, something that you kind of want to generate buzz for. So like for teens, just kind of, this is all fake programs, they're not real. But basically that's how it would look. And if one branch does the same thing, I would put it in this format. Like they're going to do something like this day, and then the other branch is going to do it that way. So submit those to me as soon as you can. If you have an idea and it's not fully fleshed, but you've got most of an idea, just let me know. And if you need another week to figure it out, like that's not a big deal. The whole idea is that I just want to make sure these are mostly done so that we have them printed so that when you're going to schools to share it, you can show them like, hey, here's what you could do. And for the children, that'll be a lot easier because theirs are just the performers. That's why I'm not asking for you guys to submit any programs for kids, because it's just going to be the performers that are coming.
Other than pre-readers.
What do you mean?
Didn't you want something for pre-readers?
I did, but that, again, that's kind of like the story time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? How do I get out of this place? Okay, so I'm going to go back.
When I do my story time, like if I submit that to you and then I want to do, I was thinking about doing like a reading one of the Dr. Seuss books, and then we were going to do like one of the cartoons to go with it, and I could just wear PJs or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to not be during the morning time. It's going to be a different one. So do you want me to submit that at the same time?
Are you saying like you want that featured?
Yeah, like it would be an event thing, like in the afternoon instead of morning.
Yeah. That would be fine. That would be something that I could try to fit on the page. Something that's outside of the ordinary. I'm going to put the ordinary stuff, but if you have something special, I'd like to feature that. And if you don't get it in time, or if you've got multiple things, still submit them to me and I'll put them on the online system.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to do all of the programs I get on the online system too. But that's also something, if you think you don't want all of your programs featured, you just want like your specific summer reading programs, we could do that. That's a conversation. What do you think?
My mind's going 10 different directions right now.
Okay, that's fine. It's just so you guys know what I'm thinking, and you can start.
The deadline's April 15th.
April 15th is something I would like.
Gotcha.
Please. It would just make it easier for me to get it all together and then print them out so you guys can take them around places. So the next thing is, the other thing I've got for the paper blueprints, if you're going the paper route, if you're not going to have them sign up online, first you'll have the blueprint and you'll have that as their reading log, but when they register on paper, I want you to use Google Sheets to track that. It's the same thing we're doing for Raft. So you'll just go into Google Sheets with this link. It'll take you to your personal Google Sheets, and I've shared each branch's Google Sheet with the people in that branch. So when you come to Google Sheets, you will see whatever your branch is, Summer Reading 2017. You'll click on it, double click it, and it'll take you to this page. I'm going to pull it out a little bit. And you will just register people this way. Last name, first name, phone number, their school, their age, and that's all you would do for registration. And then when they bring their completed blueprint back to you, you do your check or your X, and give them their free book. So the first blueprint they turn in gets them a free book for everyone, and that's pre-readers, children, teens, adults. They all get a book corresponding to their age group, and you'll track all of that in a Google Sheet. And then the other thing about that is each branch should also have, they do. Okay. At the bottom of this Google Sheet, I've got the children on the first one, teens, and then adults. And I should have pre-reader, but I don't. Actually, I think I want everyone to put pre-readers in with children, and then the age will tell me what age they are. And so we don't have 4 different sheets that we're going through. And the other thing that I want to make sure you guys know is, apart from those tabs, if you're searching for someone, if someone comes in, all you have to do is go to this main page, this main sheet, and then do Control F. Mine's Command because I'm on a Mac, and it'll bring up this little box right here, and you'll just type in the person that you're looking for. Actually, you might have to go to the tab that corresponds to their age, and it'll highlight their name. So like if I had a long list, which actually, let me see if I can go to the Raft one, because I know you've got a lot on Raft. So we'll go to Odessa's Raft just to test this out. So they've got quite a bit of people. So we'll go Control F, and I want to find, well, after it pops up for me. Okay, so I see Ray. So I'm looking for someone with the name Ray. It highlights it for me down here. So that's kind of how you would go find them without having to scroll and scroll and scroll and look, and then go to their little chart and say, okay, they came and picked up their book. I'm going to put my X there. Does that seem simple enough?
Yes. So if we don't have a Mac,
It will be
It'll-
after 10th or 11th.
It's Control F on a Windows.
okay.
Yeah, and if you want to practice that with your Raft doc, it's fairly simple. And if not, you can. There are other ways to arrange it. You can go up to your column, and if you want to sort it by alphabetical order, you can do that too. If that would be a better way for you to look, if you are comfortable scrolling, and it just makes more sense for you to have it in alphabetical order. It's your document. Your branch can decide how best you want to do it, depending on who's doing what. And the other thing I've told people is, if you want to have a paper version of this, you can actually print the blank version of this and have it, like if it's easier for you to have it on the desk and write it down. I really would love it if you do that and then input all the names for me, at least at the end of that week, so that I have a better idea of how many signups we're getting. Because otherwise I'm like, no one's signing up for summer reading. I guess I don't need to.
We're going to have a printed out page.
Which, I mean, and if you've got a lot of stuff going on, if you've got multiple people at the desk and it's not convenient for you to get in here, get a printed page, just input it at the end of the week. Yeah. Is that good for you, Shauna? Or are you thinking,
Yeah.
Am I boring you?
No, I work a lot of hours right now. It's taxing.
Oh. I'm sorry. So that's the paper version. And I know you guys had talked about, maybe online might be easier. To me, it's pretty simple. It's a paper thing. You write their name down. Eventually, you get it
It's
into
very
this
simple
doc.
until you have to find time to input 350 names.
Well,
Well, what we do at our branch is usually one person does the inputting. Like Amy, she's really good at that, where she likes paperwork stuff. So like, we might write it all down, and then in the morning time, she takes a few minutes and she inputs the names every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's her thing that she does during summer reading. Like that's what she likes to do.
Okay. That's something. I mean, Warrensburg's looking at me like, we don't have anyone on staff like to do that.
Well, no, we just don't
But
have the
you
luxury
don't
to
have the-
decide how we spend our time.
Oh. Well, that's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But
Just have to delegate.
Yeah, I think that might be an issue right now. But that's something for you guys to think. Like, online is not necessarily easier if it's just like I can just have a stack of blueprints and this sheet and I can write down
That's how
a
we've
name.
always done it.
And it's comfortable and it's not read squared again, so it might be a little bit of a learning curve, though I think this is going to be way easier than read squared for you guys. Sorry, that was a little. I think it's going to be easier than read squared for you guys. I said that in kind of an undertone, but it's just figuring out how that's going to work. It's not necessarily easier, especially for your patrons, if they're used. I mean, Warrensburg's got patrons that do it online anyway, but if they
Not
like
many.
if
Most
they
of
like the blueprint and they like that it's got the advertisement on the back and that's just what they want, and they see other people in other branches doing it, you don't want to say, no, you can't, we only do it online.
Okay.
You can technically say that, but I think you've got a big enough group that it's like, well, why do they get to use paper? I want that paper blueprint. Or if you're going to a school visit and you're trying to say, like, this is what the program is, here, it's a physical thing. That's just a conversation for you guys to have. But let me make sure Gina's still good. Are you still good?
Does this still have like games attached to it, like last year, or no?
On the online version?
Yeah.
It will, I think. Does it have games? You know what? I don't take that back. I'm still playing with it. I will get back to you.
Okay.
I'm not sure on that, and but I will do a separate training for online.
Okay.
After I figure it out myself. So next, let's see what else we got. School visits. The other thing for school visits, having the physical blueprint, and then also having let me go back to my site. Okay, so back to the summer reading site again, from the programming site. I made quarter sheet flyers, and I can make other versions of that. I can help you if you want something more specific on yours, but they're just quarter sheets that explain complete any 10 tasks on a blueprint. When you finish, head to your local branch for the first prize.
Awesome.
The subsequent blueprints get them entered for the grand prize drawing.
Yes,
and that's anything other than that the turning in more blueprints gets them?
Okay. We actually talked about this yesterday. So after their first blueprint, which is just a set of tasks, and all the other blueprints in the same age group are going to be the same as of now. I can make it harder. I can make it easier. I can change the tasks on that if you guys want me to. But after they do their first one and they get their book, the first one also counts as an entry for the grand prize. Right. So everyone who completes one gets one entry for the grand prize. After that, they can keep completing them for more entries. And we talked about yesterday having, instead of 10, I had originally had 10. If they do 10, they would get a car decal. And they thought that might be a little too much for them to finish in a summer. So instead, we're thinking about doing 5. If they do 5 more of these logs, they will get. Where do I have it? I have it in the Google Drive. If they do 5 more blueprints, I'm going to go to my drive real fast and show you the little sticker that they'll get. All right. Are you guys familiar with staff docs on Drive? Have you found that yet? Okay. So if we go to Drive, and I'm just going to search for staff documents. Find it right here. If my computer will let me. And then I'm going to go to Library Services Programming. Then I'm going to go to Summer Reading. And then I'm going to go to Prizes. These are the 2 stickers. One is a transparent one that goes on the inside of your car window. And it's in white. It says, "My child is a super reader." And it's just something that you would put on the inside of a window. And the other one is one that goes on the outside of a car. Same thing. So it's just their preference for that. And that's kind of their 5 blueprint prize. There was discussion. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Cool. There was discussion yesterday about how adults really wanted stickers too. It's not fair that we don't have one for adults. So I'm thinking of doing a different kind of thing for adults, maybe like a sticker or a badge or something that's like, have you seen those like adulting badges.
No.
Like, I put on pants today. I paid my bills. I'm thinking of trying to do something like that. Christina from Knob suggested that, and she was like, I want a sticker for my car too. Like, so that's something that we can look into. But right now, I only have them for the kids. There's no other than the grand prize. There's no other incentive for adults, teens to keep doing the logs. Other than I really want the grand prize. But we can look at that if
They're cool
that's
grand prizes.
if that's what you guys want to do. Do you want any kind of adult prizes, Shauna? Do you have any ideas? Or Gina, I guess. Gina, if you want to chat me an idea. Anything?
I have to think about things and stew for a moment.
Okay, that's fine. If you do think of something, please just go back to this little SRP program ideas, which you can also, if you're in Google Drive, you can just search 2017 SRP program ideas, and this document will come up, and you can get in here and say like adulting stickers, badges, details. And I don't know if we need to say it, but it's for adults. And that was Christina. So, if you have an idea like that, let me. Otherwise, this is the for sure prize that they will get if they do 5. And I'm assuming everyone else is cool with 5 rather than 10. Does that seem? I think that's kind of the consensus. It's just a lot of them said it's just a sticker. They're not going to work that hard for it. But their parents might make them because they might want it to be on the back of their car. And then it's also a really good advertisement for us. Like, it's free, like, trails all over the place. So again, I kind of came in here to look for the stickers, but if I go back, all of these documents in staff docs are specific to summer reading. We've got, these are the little graphics I made that fit the theme. So if you want to download these, they've got a transparent background. You can stick them on any flyers that you've got. If you don't want to redo the font or anything, you can just stick these on virtually anything. These are on Canva, I believe, too. So you should be able to go into the uploads folder and just stick them on. And then the blueprints themselves are in this little folder. And I'll update these as I finish them, and they'll automatically update. So you'll always have the latest version whenever you log into Drive. Let's make sure. Okay, the other thing is yard signs. I don't remember if Warrensburg answered the question. So the yard signs, they're actually, I'm going to go sneak past you, sorry, and show them this time so they know what I'm talking about. You guys remember these? What was your experience? I'm going to get back in my video so we can show the others. Yard signs. Kyle's wanting to know if you guys still want these, how many you need, feelings.
For our personal yards?
Yeah, they're for you to hand out to patrons or local businesses. Excuse me, anybody who will put them up. Mm-hmm. The hope is to have them as visible as possible everywhere. Did you guys? I don't remember if Odessa had already discussed that yesterday.
I don't know. I wasn't here. I'm a 3-day week.
Okay. I'm sure they'll get back to me, so you don't have to worry about it. But Gina, whenever you see this, please let Kyle know what you're wanting for yard signs for quarter. Let Kyle know. Don't talk to me about it. I don't know anything about the yard signs. Then the next thing, okay, we talked about prizes. And then just to catch you guys up, yesterday they mentioned lots of things about prizes. They seemed very interested in talking about the prizes. They mentioned tickets to Powell Gardens, Paradise Park, Sky Zone, the State Fair, escape rooms, Worlds of Fun, AMC and B&B theaters, iTunes. If you guys have any other ideas, I wasn't sure if people would want to travel outside of the area to have something like that, if they wanted like a Casey's gift card, because that's all I think of that's everywhere.
I know somebody was talking about like this Arrow Rock Theater or Starlight
Yeah,
Theater.
yeah.
If you go through the community center, they do a bus up there.
Okay.
Or they did last year, and you could buy a ticket, and then that would be like their travel to the place.
Okay.
So
that would be an idea.
That's like an intense.
Well, it could be,
price.
but my only hesitation was, do we want to make them come to Warrensburg if they're in
Oh yeah, that's true.
if they're in Waverly? But it seemed like yesterday they were like, I want to do something cool. I want free tickets to something. Royals tickets.
Yeah.
Everyone seems like they'll
Royals
travel.
tickets are great. It's a great idea.
I
Can we participate in that?
unfortunately not. Actually, we don't have rules about that, do we? We don't have rules. They're just unspoken. So if you win,
Yeah,
I mean, good luck to you.
I might sign up my friend.
Your friends.
Just kidding.
I don't know if we have any hard and fast things about that, but yeah, we'll all know.
You know, something that's really cool is there's like a fundraiser for a lot of kids that do these fundraisers where you buy the Royals thing. It's like $40, but it's on a sheet. I bought one for myself this year, and it's got a bunch of things on it where you can get in for free, half price tickets, all of those things, and there's like you can use it more than one time.
And
So basically, you
sorry.
it's a fundraiser idea
Okay.
that I could check into it to see who's doing them. Like right now, like you could check around Warrensburg because this is like baseball teams do it and they sell one of them, or you know, to help them raise money. But then at the same time, it could be like
a giveaway.
It could be a prize for us because it's got several Royals things on it, and it's $40.
Okay. But yeah, if you send me a link to that, I will check it out.
Okay.
That might be a good idea because I know we've got lots of Royals fans.